I am just starting my lunch. Okay, I didn't do that low enough. Can I do that lower? Will that work? No. Shows me, doesn't show my lunch. Okay, my mother, she was Austrian, and she did many lovely Austrian recipes. But she came to Canada when she was maybe not a young woman, but they didn't have much money. She learned to also cook Canadian and also take advantage of what she found here. So some things that she made were very, very cheap, but tasty. And we all have those, things that are not good for you, but they taste so good, like bologna. And I remember my mom. She brought this from Europe. Bacon fat on a piece of bread. I mean, and that makes my mouth water to this day. So I don't have it. I haven't had it in decades, but I know that bacon fat is delicious. Anyway, she invented this really simple recipe, and I have brought it to potlucks galore, and everybody just loves it. And it is damn simple. So it is canned potatoes, and chickpeas, canned chickpeas. Much onion as you like, with a dressing of basically half vinegar, half oil. I prefer more oil and less vinegar, but it depends on your preference. Plus salt. Salt is what makes it really tasty. I also add green beans. Sometimes. I have also added cherry tomatoes. Whatever. And today I have cucumber. But it's just the combination of the canned potatoes with the vinegar and the oil and the salt and the chickpeas. I mentioned to Veronica a few weeks ago that I made it. I hadn't made it in years. Like 2 or 3 years. And she's, oh, that's so good. And she just texted me the other day. She says, I just made your potatoes and chickpeas, and it is so good. The simplest things. And this is actually good for you, right? Nothing wrong with potatoes, chickpeas, vinegar, oil, and all the additions that I make. But it is such a satisfying. Usually I make it in the summer. Just a cold meal, cold salad. I just have it on its own. My mother used to make it to go with sandwiches, right? It's whatever you make of it. And I love it. we're having pizza tonight. So, because sometimes I have this for supper. The dog just quietened down because they have gone away somewhere. Didn't mention it to me, so won't be long. I have my suspicion. No, it's only 12:30. The Grand Prix, the Montreal Grand Prix starts at 2. So I imagine they'll be back for that. My son is a Grand Prix watcher. When there's a Grand Prix on, he's watching it. When there's a Grand Prix on somewhere in the world, he's watching it on Sunday morning. He watches whatchamacallits on Saturday morning when he gets up, and Sunday morning early he watches the Grand Prix, depending on where it is in the world. Usually it's middle of the night. He just watches it the next morning. Yeah, he really likes it, but the Grand Prix is in Montreal. I've gone twice. Not in a very long time, though. So he got his love of the Grand Prix for me. Yeah, so this is just, a delicious meal. And you have to get the dressing exactly right. My starter is half and half oil and vinegar. And then I add more oil, or I don't add as much vinegar. So a bit less vinegar, a bit more oil, basically half and half. Salt and pepper. Salt is the key. If you don't add enough salt, it doesn't taste good. If you add too much vinegar, it doesn't taste good. So let's just drop this in there and put this in the dressing, because that's also good. So apparently some British broadcaster, television personality, a doctor who presented on TV, was on vacation in Greece with his wife. 67 years old he was. And he went on a hike, and he said to his wife, I guess, I'm just going to go this way. You keep going. I'm going to try out this path. And then he wasn't seen again. And it's extremely, extremely, extremely hot in Europe at this point. So that was not a good thing to do. And when they found him, he died from heat exposure, I guess. They were looking for him, but he just made a wrong turn and didn't find him in time. That's how close it was. Very sad. Mosely is his name. Dr. I think it's Martin Mosely. I'm not sure. I watched him. I watched a video of his. My cat's water fountain stopped working this morning. My son had to look at it. I said, just let's dry it out. See if it works after we dry it out. But that doesn't look good. Grand Prix. Yeah, so I might have to, I've only had it since April. So I may have to see what can be done about it. I have their old wool out. It's a nice metal wool, so. But it's better. They drink more water if it's flowing, and I don't know. Just give them fresh water every day. I mean, oh, it's 12:30. Oh, it's the pre-show. Right. I did have that bookmarked. Because the race doesn't start till 2, officially. It's very greasy. Those are mounted police. Those are not race cars. Yeah, so a nice addition, green beans, a nice addition, cherry tomatoes. How much onion you add is your choice. But it's a cheap, healthy meal. Give it a try.